Kapa Hawaiian FM 100.3, 99.1, and online at kaparadio.com. Another edition of the Kapa Cafe on this Aloha Friday.
All right. This gentleman here, I'm excited to talk to. He is a former bandmate of mine from the band Ehukai, one of the most heartfelt brothers you will ever meet, and handsomest former dancer. Ladies and gentlemen, my good brother, Gilman Kaha'i.
Hey, Gil, aloha.
Aloha, good morning. Yeah, you could have gone on and on a little bit more on that, Jazz.
It was so funny. I was like, what kind of dancing? That wasn't pole dancing at Waioli Lounge, yeah?
Oh, there's no pole big enough.
Gil, we were so excited to receive your new mele. And before we get into the new mele today, you have been a part of Ehukai for those many years. But I want to just ask a real quick question that maybe people may not know. When did you start playing music, and does that come from your ohana? Most people who sing, especially in Hawaii, their ohana, it starts with the ohana. Is that in your case, Gil?
It is. I think when we were growing up, actually, honestly, we never have TV, so I was locked in my bedroom and playing my guitar. Yeah, I think it was a $8 guitar.
Wow.
But yeah, my mom is the matriarch of our family. She would play a lot of gospel music, and I would pick up on that. So as far as background, yeah, it goes back that far.
Now, what kind of genre did you sing? I mean, outside of the church hymns, what music did you choose to play when you were in your room with that guitar?
Okay, well, at that age, there was really no genre, just a music book. And I think the first song that I learned was Scarborough Fair. I can remember that one. It was a minor progression, and with a cheap guitar, all you gotta do is just arpeggiate your strings, and to you at the time, it sounded like music, yeah?
Wow, that's so cool.
Yeah. So that's up for discussion.
And then, of course, we know you as you transition in Hilo Town with Ehukai, and your relationship with Jazz and so many others. And you guys had a nice run there. And then, there's been a break of some sort. And then Jazz tells me the other day, we debuted this wonderful song. What have you been recording, or is there a reason why the recording came about all of a sudden?
Oh, actually, I haven't. In some sense, I haven't been on that musical spectrum as far as playing. Everybody asks, "Oh, you still play music?" I said, "Wow, I started. I'm not going to end until I'm 6 feet under." But I've always played music, and right now my forte is to share. And I'm teaching. I've been teaching for a very long time, with the ukulele, bass, and guitar. But going back to the music writing, I've always written music. I got a whole bunch of musics. Just that when you're out of a certain element, like Ehukai, you don't have the same, I guess, resources. But I continue on writing. And that's why I knocked on Jazz's door. That's where we are today.
I love it.
Jazz, well, real quick, one thing, let me share a little story about my history with Gil. So when I first moved here in 93, I lived in Pahoa. My first living situation was in Ainaloa, and he was my neighbor, and we were bandmates. And so he drove me everywhere, like all the gigs. He would take me to gigs and whatnot. Usually would drive with him, and then we'd have to pull over because he would need to sleep, and so we wouldn't get home till like 3.
Yeah, come on, my wife be watching this. Yeah.
Well, one thing I got sure with Gil is what I've always talked about Gil has always been the comedy relief of that band. He was the one that was the funny guy in the band, but also the guy that would give you the shirt off his back, like literally. I remember we were driving up to Pahoa from Hilo, and he bought a pair of shoes remember that man that used to walk up and down.
Yeah. I don't see him walking anymore.
Years ago. But I remember the guy used to walk everywhere, and I remember Gil bought him some shoes
randomly.
Just randomly, yeah. That's the kind of guy he is. But
actually, it was one shoe I bought.
He said, "Hey, I gonna make you work for this, yeah."
Yeah, but the other one was still good for him, yeah.
Now, Gil, tell us about this this melody that you've put together here, because like you said, you're always playing, you're always kind of recorded, like, just a home kind and stuff. What made you actually put something together and like go, oh, I want to, see if this can actually do something?
Oh, well, for me on the guitar, it's always about the progression. If you notice I don't know, not everybody knows my repertoire, but I don't do any love songs or anything like that. I wrote songs about the housing, right?
Hanakila housing.
Yeah, and I wrote this song. This song I wrote was a gift to my friend Joseph Reed. You remember him? He's a pilot. He would hang around.
Southwest Airlines, I think.
Well, if you guys remember the story, it was in 2001 when the Twin Towers was attacked, right? It's a big thing, right? Now he was jump seating out of Hilo Airport and flying to San Jose somewhere, and that's where his base was. But the FAA stopped that as soon as that day happened. So what happened shortly after that? His family had to move out of their homestead and move to Florida, and it was a big emotional thing for them because they had their feet already planted in Aina. So, I just figured I'd do what I kind of know that I do best, is to write this song. And this song was gifted to them. And the song is called Hamakua Pride. This is where their home was, right, in Ninole. And the song just speaks about the era and the love they had for this place. As far as the inspiration, I think this family, which is a Reed family, Joe and his wife, Dion, and all the 8 kids that he has. Yeah, he's Mormon, so he had 8 kids. But so that's what
you had to specify that, right?
Right. Let's clarify things, yeah. Okay, that goes without saying. But his last kid, he named it namesake after me. Oh. So it was So his name was obviously Gil also. But that's where the inspiration came from. This family had to move in the circumstances that nobody's seen coming. And I was privileged to have that platform. And to write a song is not an easy thing, but sometimes your inspiration comes and then bang, it just knocks it out. So this song had a really good groove, a really good feel. And the lyrics in the beginning of the song starts out with some Hawaiian, and that individual that is speaking the Hawaiian describes the area and the format of the Hamakua and just different places.
Who is that, Gil? Gil, who is that?
His name is Mike Diaz. Yeah, fluent speaking Hawaiian and from the heart, and it was cool to have him. And just quickly, I was going to just kind of mention people that are involved with this. Would be John O'Neill. He was the bass. Bruce Myers, also vocals and guitar. Creighton Halley with percussion, and then we had the sound engineer, Mike Miyamisato. So those are people that are involved with this. But the song is just, and then my friend would fly over, right? We did this song on his inaugural flight. You remember the flights that came in, the inaugural flight from Southwest?
I believe so.
Okay. Yeah, there was an inaugural flight, right? Hawaiian Airlines got bumped a little bit. In the inaugural flight, I flew in with him into Hilo, and we did the song in Honolulu before the jet was pushed off.
Oh.
Yeah. So the song was already sung out. Both him and I sang it in front of I guess whoever was on the plane. Yeah, a lot of the executive types and stuff like that. So it was exciting, and I was blessed to be part of something like this. So writing a song can produce certain things, and this one is very positive. So that's why I'm sharing this song. I do write a lot of songs. I do have a lot of songs, but this particular one, I figure, okay, let me get a hold of Jazz. Let's see where we can go ahead.
Awesome. What a story. What a story.
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah.
I remember Joe. Yeah.
What a story. That's amazing. Now I'm going to listen to it differently. And that's why we wanted to ask you.
That's what my wife does. She listens to it differently. And
It's
I don't
true.
know exactly what that means though. Yeah.
And how is the wife? She, you know,
My wife?
I give her so much aloha and credit. Must be hard being Mrs. Kaha'i.
Um, well, right now she's not listening to you, but she's around. But you know what? In that area that you're talking about, I need to say one thing. Yeah, if you remember the night of the Nahoku Hanohano Awards, and we were giving thanks to everybody, and my family was out in the tables, and I said something that haunts me till this day. And I said, I like to thank my wife. That's it. That's all I said. I never mentioned her name, her age, or anything. So right now, I
Go
like to,
ahead, do it right now, right now.
yeah, I give a shout out to my wife. I love her very much. Her name, okay, for the record, Lila Jean Kaha'i. Yes. So
Yay!
I made up that
Yay.
25 some odd years
There you
right now
go.
in this session. So thank you for that platform.
Awesome,
Hey,
awesome.
hey, man, like
Everywhere.
while we're at it, any birthdays you miss? You wanna go
Birthday?
to, anything else you missed to the list? You wanna
You want to open Pandora's box?
Gil, I just gotta tell you, man, like the highlight of playing with Ehukai was being on stage and waiting for what you was gonna say between songs.
Yeah. When I wake up in the morning, that's the same thought my wife has. I don't know. I just wing it and see what happens. First thing I look at is my bank account and I laugh and then we go from there.
My favorite line from Gil is he would start is one of his songs he would play is Wonderful Tonight. That would be his song. And right before that, he'd give this dramatic to the mic and he'd say, I'd like to dedicate this to my future ex-wife. And just
Oh, raw. We're gonna edit this? Or... Oh my goodness.
Too much fun. Well,
Lila would be there, of course, and then a shoe would fly across to the stage.
Yeah. Yeah.
Gil, thank you
Shoe.
so much, bro, for
Thank you.
sharing. I hope this maybe sparks an entire album, maybe, you know?
Well, I got the material to do it, but you know what I mean. That hill to climb is all financial, yeah. So I enjoy doing what I'm doing, regardless where it goes. And just before we disperse on the song, I just want to give a shout out to all the ladies in the, and you guys know her. She's in the bank, First Hawaiian Bank vote in Kona. She says she knows you guys. Yeah. And also the First Hawaiian Bank in Hilo vote. I just give a shout out to them and thank you so much for tuning in. I had a few people. Oh, Jazz, very important. Yeah, I need to give a shout out to my mom. She's a matriarch. Her name is Emily Kaha'i.
Oh.
And I love her very much. Yeah, so we, yeah.
that's
Okay.
awesome.
Okay,
Awesome.
so
How did you keep your hairline?
what?
Your hairline hasn't disappeared. Like,
Yeah, well, it has to do with the lighting. Yeah. The lighting and calamari. I got excited about this interview that I did use deodorant before we got on. So it's all good. It's all good.
Awesome. Awesome. And Gail, are we gonna? Will people be able to maybe perhaps download the song in the near future?
Oh, definitely. Like I said, I got a whole bunch of songs that I've written, and it's at that same, I wouldn't say the word quality, but the inspirations are there.
Awesome.
when we get off this call, I'll explain to you what a download is.
Okay.
Always a pleasure, Gail, and congratulations again.
Love you, bro.
Hey, love you guys. Thank you very much for the platform.